Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Seize Your Business. Jim Waszak, your host, as usual, along with my co-host and the founder, Kevin O'Flaherty. Today we have a very special guest, Barbara Caine, who came all the way from Crown Point, Indiana, just to explain and talk about our topic today, so I hope you all appreciate it. Welcome, Barbara.
Hi, Jim.
I didn't realize you made such a trek. Thanks for being here.
Well, our show is getting more and more reach, so we got people coming from California next week. But anyway, our topic today is work on your business rather than in your business, which Barbara will elaborate on a little bit, but it's from a book, The EMyth by Michael Gerber. It's got some great concepts in there. But before we get into that, Barbara, why don't you tell us a little bit about the business you're in and what you do and who you serve and that sort of thing.
Okay, great. So my business is called Fuse Business Training, and Fuse actually stands for Fun, Useful, Strategic, and Easy, which is the baseline for everything that I do, all the classes I build, and everything. So my classes are designed to help entrepreneurs to grow their business from whatever level they're at, any industry they're in, everything from starting a business to making money while you sleep, and literally everything in between.
Super.
So, is the EMyth book something that you strongly believe in? I assume that's why it's the topic we're talking about.
Definitely. So a couple of things I learned when I was a virtual assistant is where I actually started my entrepreneurship business. So as a virtual assistant, I learned that entrepreneurs spend way too much time trying to make money today, that they don't really spend enough time building their business. They're just trying to find clients and make money for today, whereas if you work on your business by creating systems and processes and delegating and all that other stuff, you're actually building a legacy, which is the key to being an entrepreneur. And one of the other things that I learned is that they spend a lot of time trying to figure things out by themselves. And a lot of times either never figure it out or they figure out the wrong way to do it.
Okay.
And so that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to start teaching people the right way to do the right things and in the right order.
Super. So is there, can you give us an example, because maybe people who aren't familiar with the book might not understand working on versus working in. I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but is there a specific example you could think of somebody doing that and how they changed it?
Yeah, and you know what, actually, I like to compare it to your life, for instance. So, because a lot of times I talk to people who aren't in business and they're like, well, how can I relate that to my everyday life? So, in business, working in your business is stuff that other people are paying you for. Working on your business is usually stuff that you pay for, like networking and education and stuff like that. So that's the difference. Working in, you're getting paid for. Working on is stuff that you're putting your time, money, and energy into. And if you relate it to a personal life, if somebody's not in business per se, I say it's similar to working in your life or on your life. So for instance, are you living or are you making a living? That's the difference.
Okay.
Jim, have you read the EMyth book before?
I have, yes. Yes.
This is a subject near and dear to my heart because when I started my firm, I read every book I can get my hands on. The EMyth was my favorite. It was the one that stuck with me and it was like my guiding torch for my whole business. So I truly believe in what you're talking about here. And for me, I'm an attorney, and the analogy is easy to draw. Either I'm working for someone else, billing an hour, making money for my firm while I'm doing it, but every hour I bill for a client is an hour I'm not working on my own processes, making, if you can learn to delegate. I mean, the thing I took away from the book was everything can be delegated. You want to turn your business into a box where it basically just runs itself, and you are the owner, you're not the employee of it. You don't want a job, you want to be the owner that reaps profits from something you've created. And that doesn't mean don't work, but it means, work on making your little box better.
Exactly. Make it work for you instead of you working for it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Is that something when you teach these classes, do you get a lot of resistance to that idea?
Actually, I don't. maybe because I set the tone before people attend class, and I let them know that my classes are all hands-on. So they're not just hearing what they should be doing, they're actually doing it in class. So in the description, when they're reading what the class is about, it actually says, bring your computer, bring your charger, you will be building your business today. So they come with the expectation that they're working on their business.
So let's say there's an entrepreneur who's worked in his business or her business, and it's at a certain level where it's kind of generating some revenue and maybe making some money, but it's still sort of pulling your hair out stages. You can't go from 10 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour overnight. So where would you suggest somebody start? I mean, what would be sort of like the first couple things they'd look to outsource or build a process for?
Well, I would say the first thing to start if you're brand new at trying to work on instead of in is doing when you're doing the work that you're already doing, track what you're doing, what the process is, and how long it takes you to do. That's the first step, because then it allows you to know how can you delegate this to somebody, and who can you delegate it to based on how much time it takes, what skill it takes, and how much money you need to invest into that particular task.
And it seems to me that today there are so many ways to outsource. I mean, I know so many people who have marketing firms, accounting firms, concierge firms, if I said that correctly. So, I mean, there's really kind of no excuse for it.
Exactly. And you know what? You can even get help for free. There's a site called internships.com, and you can literally get an intern to help you with almost any industry for absolutely free, because nowadays you might have heard people say, well, I've got a college degree, but nobody will hire me without experience, even though I've got the degree. Right. Well, they're willing to do anything for experience, including working for free. So if you have no budget, the best place to start is on internships.com. If you do have a budget, you might be willing to hire somebody that already has the skill, experience, and knowledge that you don't have to train to pay, but you'll pay them more. But yeah, you literally can outsource everything, and there's lots of ways to do it on any budget, literally.
A lot of the fear that a lot of people have in kind of starting to delegate is that they are afraid that the quality of service will go down if they don't do it personally, or whatever task it is. They're the only ones that can do it right because they're the business owner. They're the only ones that care enough.
Yeah.
And there's some truth to that.
There is.
I found I had to, if I ever wanted to grow my business, I'd have to take that risk and get past it. But that was a scary thing for me. It's much more scary for most other people. How do you help people get past that objection?
Well, I say that's where leadership comes in, because you're right. You know your business better than anybody else. But in order for you to be able to let go and delegate, you have to teach that person what's expected of them. So the first several times they do a certain task, it's going to need improvement. But you need to give them the correct criticism to improve. Okay, you didn't do this so well, this is the way I actually would like it done, and then give them another shot to do it. And keep doing that until it's perfected. Once it's perfected, then you can give them another task. Never give them more than one task to perfect at a time, because that's when it gets overwhelming for them and you, and it becomes stressful on both parties.
So, Barbara, your comment makes me think of a couple things. One is that, as a lesson to all business owners, if you do bring somebody on, or whatever capacity, intern or whatever, spend the time up front to make sure they're oriented. Too often people just get thrown into it and then never really figure out what they're
we just did an episode on onboarding.
To be doing. Yes, exactly. And the other thing is that, to kind of your point, Kevin, that a lot of entrepreneurs think, well, nobody could do it as well as me. And I would challenge that a little bit, because I would say that's probably true in your core business. So you have a training business, so maybe you might feel, hey, nobody's as good a trainer as me, but there's probably somebody who's better at accounting than you. There's probably somebody who's better at marketing than you. There's probably somebody who's better at HR than you. So maybe you start with the tasks that are not your strengths.
Right, yeah, no, I agree, definitely, because I always tell people, too, it's not only the skills you need, but resources and connections are what hold people back from growing. The correct skills, resources, and connections. And you're right, the connections plays a good part, because I hate numbers. I'm very good at training and teaching and doing anything business or computer related, but when it comes to my bookkeeping, I hire that out because I don't like to look at numbers. I don't like to see all those different numbers staring me in the face.
And
Whether it's good or bad, I just don't like numbers.
And it probably keeps you out of trouble too, in the sense that you know how you're doing. I've talked to one guy in particular comes to mind who had just a horrible accounting system, and I told him, you can't possibly be making money. He said, what are you talking about? There's always cash available when I open the cash drawer. And what he was doing was he was funding the business with a home equity loan, and without realizing it, he was just really spending the equity in his home, thinking it was coming out of business.
Oh my.
And eventually, there was no business. So.
Wow, yeah, I can imagine.
So anyway, Barbara, so thank you for being on the show. If people wanted to learn more about you or learn about your classes, what's the best way for them to contact you?
The best way to learn about what I'm doing is on my website, which is fusebusinesstraining.com. That will give you the list of all the places I teach at. I'm currently teaching in Indiana and Illinois right now with webinars on the agenda in the near future. And to reach me by phone would be 219-707-1882. But text message is better than calling because I have a lot of kids and a lot of businesses.
Okay, super. And Kevin, how would people reach you?
Yeah, so we do almost every area of law, and you can call me to schedule a free consultation at 630-324-6666, 630-324-6666. How about you, Jim?
Yeah, you can reach me at 630-272-3895. By now my primary activity is protecting families with supplemental cancer insurance. However, that said, I am doing a class, Improv Skills for the Business Professional, on May 3rd in the evening. And also, if there's somebody else who'd like to see them on a podcast, give us a call or have them call us. We're always looking for interesting people to talk to.
If you want to see more videos or listen to more podcasts, we've done over 100 episodes. You can go to seizeyourbusiness.com. You can check out my law podcast blog and video blog at learn-about-law.com. And we're doing a new real estate one called makingrealestatefun.com. So thanks so much for being here, and thanks for listening.
Super. Thank you.